Hi, I'm going to take you on a very quick crash course on how to create your own Google form. You'll notice here I'm on my Drive landing page. Creating a Google form is very similar to creating a Google Doc or a Google slide presentation. So let's get started. On the top left corner where it says New, go ahead and click there. Under the More option, you'll find the icon for Google Forms. Up at the top here, it says Google Form, and this purple icon here. Go ahead. And voila, you click Google Forms, and it will create your first form. Now, it's all about the editing. So now you've got your form created. We're going to give it a nice title. I wouldn't call it nice title, I'm just doing that for fun. But you want to make a nice catchy title, a title that the person filling out their form, they should get an idea of what they're filling out. So go ahead and try to make a nice creative catchy title that suits your content. So just a few features of within Google Forms. Here the color palette, this allows you to change the overall look of your form. So just quickly, I'll show you a couple features under this option. So here you can see, if I quickly pick the color, you can see that it updates live the overall look. So if the colors aren't enough, you can really customize it by choosing some themes provided by Google. So I'm going to choose the travel theme. Let's find something nice. I love camping, so let's go ahead and check that theme. And you'll see in live time that it's updated up here at the top. Something else, if you're not happy with those themes, you can always add your own image from your photos or a photo that you got offline, so you can add that from there. The preview option just shows you what the form looks like for the person who's taking your form. So here's the preview option. I haven't had many questions yet, but this is what the form looks like to the people who I send it to. So you might want to check this option out when you're getting towards the end of creating your form, so you see what it looks like to the public. I'm going to go back up to the pencil in the top right corner to continue editing this form. Some under the settings, a couple things I want to mention here. The first one is who can respond to your form. You can see there's a drop down. You can say anyone, so that means anyone with an internet connection can respond to your form. I'm guessing that because this is for students in your class, you're going to choose anyone in ASFM. Another option that you're probably going to want to select is this one that says automatically collect the respondent's ASFM username. So what this is going to do is it's going to automatically collect the person's email. So if you want to know who's filling out your form, you're going to want to select this checkbox. If you do not want to know who's filling out your form, then you're going to deselect it. So I'm going to select it, press save. There are other options on here that you can explore, so feel free to do so. I'm going to go ahead and press save. Now these three little dots here means there's more options here. You can see this looks very much like a Google Doc or a Google slide presentation. The one thing I want to point out here that you will be using is how to add a collaborator. So a collaborator is someone who you're going to be building and making this form with. So I'm going to add collaborators. So again, this looks very much like sharing a Google Doc or a Google slide presentation. So I'm going to add some collaborators who are going to help me make this form. And Ms. Escamilla, they are going to be editors on this form. So I'm going to share it with them and I'm going to press send. So now they are going to be able to help me edit the form. So those are just some minor details. Now getting into the actual editing of the form, I'm going to show you how to add some different questions to your form. So here, over on the right side, you can see a menu. The first part of the menu is a plus sign. This is where you add a question. So if you click that, you'll see a question gets added. You can add another one. The second part of the menu is you can add a title and description. You can add an image, a video, and add a section. So the add-in section is almost like a written test you're probably used to. Sometimes you have like a multiple choice section, sometimes you have an essay section, and maybe a fill in the blank section. So that's just kind of dividing the assessment into sections. So here I'm going to show you how you can edit an actual question. So once you've selected a question, just click on the question itself, and you'll get a drop-down menu on the top right corner here, and you can see that you'll be given a selection of different types of questions that you're wanting to ask. So starting from the top, you have the short answer, you have paragraph, multiple choice, check boxes, drop-down, linear scale, multiple choice grid, and then you have date and time. So those are just questions where the person filling out the form would fill out the date and they'd fill out the time. So here you can select the answer or the question type that you want to ask. So for example, if I choose multiple choice, you can edit the question here, and then here in the options you're going to fill in the answers. So answer 1, answer 2, answer 3. Obviously you're going to fill it in with the proper answers, and you're going to, and if you want to move these around, you can see these little options over here. You can drag and drop the question. So you can see I can drag this down here. I can drag that up here. If you don't like one of them, you want to delete it, you can simply press the X over here to delete. Something else worth mentioning here is if you want to make this a required question, so the person who's taking your form has to fill this question out, you're going to want to switch this required question on. So here's my other question that I added. I'm not going to make this multiple choice, I'm going to make this a short answer. You can type your short answer question in here, and you're going to, then the person filling out the form will be able to add their answer below. Again, you're going to want to make this required if you feel like you want the person to take that question. Here's my third question. I'm going to make it a drop down, so you can add your question here. And then, like any drop down, you can add the different options here, and that you can put in as many options as you like. Again, you want to make that a required question. Something that can make your form a little better is by adding some media to your form. So you can add images from the internet or from your computer. So you can simply drag and drop. You can do a Google search. You can add them by URL. So adding images, that way you can get people who are filling out your form, they can respond to the image. So maybe you can put a nice image on your form, and then the student responds to that image, or you can base a multiple choice question around that image. So maybe you get an image from, I don't know if it's social studies related to your content or science. You can add the image and then ask some questions based on that image. Another option is to add video. So you can do a video search right here, or you can add a video from a URL. So I have a URL from Crash Course, and this Crash Course is on the natives and Spaniards. So I'm going to go ahead and select that, and you can see how the video gets embedded right in here. I can change the title video, so it's from Crash Course on YouTube. You can center it. You can actually change the size, how it shows up in the form, and then so there's how it's pretty simple to add a video. Again, I'm going to go back to the preview to see what this looks like to the person who might fill my form out. So here I have, you can see my question type. If this looks pretty good, okay, I'm going to use this. But if not, you want to go back in to edit it because you're not quite finished. So let's say you're finished your form and you're ready to send it out. So here's the button up here is the send option. So there's a few different options. You can do it by email, or you can do it by link. So if you want to do it by email, you can just simply type in here the different email address. So I want these, Miss Bry and Miss Escamilla to fill out this form. You can include the form in the email, or it'll probably just send them a link. So you can go ahead and press send. So they're going to get an email saying, hey, here's a form for you to fill out. What else? Okay, now once your form's ready, you've emailed it out to people who you want to fill it out. Now you got to find out where are those answers, or where the response is going to go. So up in this top menu here, you have questions, and then you have responses. So here you're going to create a spreadsheet so that all the answers that people are filling out, those answers are going to go into this spreadsheet. So I'm going to go ahead and click that button. I'm going to create a new spreadsheet, and it's titled very similar to the title of my assessment or my Google form. So nice title, remember I named it nice title. Well, that's going to be the name of my response destination as well. So I'm going to go ahead and press create, and here's the spreadsheet. It's already kind of made the different columns. You can see the timestamp. That's going to be the date and time the person filled it out. The username, because remember we checked that box that said yes, we want to collect the username. And then here's the different types of questions, and the answers are going to populate in here. Because nobody filled in my form yet, there's no answers in here. A very good way to get a very quick summary of what people are saying or answering, you can go to hit this form and and you'll see a drop down. You can say show summary of responses, and this will give you a nice summary of responses after the people have filled out your form. You'll see up here you can go back and to edit this form if you like, as long as you're the owner. So you can go ahead and close that. So you've basically created two new documents. You've created one, your form itself, and two, the spreadsheet where your form and answers are going to go. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please come down to the TI office. We'll be more than happy to help you, or maybe your teachers can help you. So best of luck with creating your Google Forms.